welcome to Conversations with Spirit, where mystical encounters and practical wisdom converge in perfect harmony. I'm excited for you to join me today. I have a very special guest. Yay! This man is my new friend, and he's one of those people. You know how you meet somebody and you kind of go, "Oh, we're friends." Just, it's like we met each other, and I think you feel the same way, Jeffrey, right? It's
Totally.
like we just met each other, and it was like, you know, we're done. We're in each other's lives like for the rest of our lives. It's crazy. It's so cool. But anyway,
Totally.
so his name is Jeffrey Peck. And Jeffrey Peck is an evidential psychic medium with a loving and sensitive approach to spirit, which we're going to get into. And I'm super excited about that. But his commitment and dedication, combined with his warm and understanding and compassionate style, provide you with a clarity and peace of mind. A session with Jeffrey will leave you with a clear knowing that your loved ones are still a part of your life and with a sense of healing and hope. And oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. Welcome to the show,
Thank
Jeffrey.
you.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here with you.
Yay, yay. And I've got the chat up. I don't know, can you see the chat?
Yes, I
So
see
that maybe
one message from
I mean,
Bex.
there you go. Hi, Bex. Nice
Hi,
to see
Bex.
you.
Yeah.
And hi, Rob from snowy Washington, D.C. Oh, boy. Yeah.
Yay.
And Keith.
And
Hi,
Keith. Hi,
guys.
Keith.
Tasha Minska. I love it. I love it. So,
Awesome.
so I really wanted Jeffrey. Jeffrey's like the first guest that I've had on this show. And I really wanted him to be the first guest because his view of spirit and how he connects is so just freaking amazing. And his whole relationship with spirit is extraordinary. And so I'm really excited for you guys to be here and for us to experience this together. So Jeffrey, I got a ton of questions, and we're just going to see where this conversation goes, which is always fun. You guys, when Jeffrey and I start to talk, it might go in a whole bunch of different places. But what we're going to do is in a little while, we're going to do some card readings. Okay. So just be aware that readings are coming a little bit later. Okay. So, yeah. All right. So, my first question to you is this. Tell us about, if you can, tell us your process and how do you actually connect with spirit? Like, what is your process?
That's a good question.
Sorry.
Because I pause in the moment because it depends. It depends where I am. It depends if I'm out in the world, or sitting down for a reading where, I have my own like little internal ritual where I, call in anybody who's listening to come and hold the space with me. So,
do you have like a spirit team?
Oh, totally. Totally. Yeah. I mean, when I call everybody in, it's like roll call, there's about, I don't know, 18 names, I think, it's,
oh my gosh.
it's just, I was attuned to Reiki in 2006. And during that first weekend of level 1, the side effect for me was that it ignited all the spiritual senses over that weekend, all at once.
Oh, that is so cool.
So,
were you freaked out by that?
I totally was. I thought I was losing my mind. I really did. And over the next 30 days, my Reiki master she'd asked me to sit with myself and give myself a Reiki treatment every day and let the Reiki teach me, learn from the Reiki, learn how it feels compared to my own energy, all that good stuff.
Awesome.
So I would go in my walk-in closet and I would sit down with maybe some crystals, some cards. I would go in with everything, all my tools. And during these self Reiki treatments, I started to sense, I started to see, I started to feel, I started to hear, and all of this stuff was happening. And I mean, every day I would come out and I would just be confused. because it was like I was dreaming, but I know I wasn't sleeping.
Interesting.
And yeah, and there was no way. I was sitting upright. My hands were in places all over my body, you know. If I was sleeping, I would have slipped over, you know, or my hands would
Yeah.
have dropped. But
Okay.
um so I had a conversation with my Reiki master, and she just said, "Yeah, you're opening up to spirit."
Oh my
So
God.
so
So
since
cool.
then, it's just been like coming on. You know, back then in 2006, 2007, I was giving Reiki treatments, and that's when people's loved ones were in the room, and that's
Yeah.
when the mediumship started happening, and I was delivering evidential mediumship spontaneously without even realizing what I was doing. You know, it was I just had this sense, and I knew that their father or grandfather or
Yeah.
whomever was in the room with us.
Yeah.
And then by delivering the information that they were showing me and giving me, that was the evidence that obviously I wouldn't know that they would know. And so it's just developed since then, 2006, 2007. And now I have come to recognize that we're always connected. We're
Yeah.
always,
Yeah.
whether we believe it or not. And more often than not, do we believe that we're not.
Yeah.
We through life, we've gone through so many trials, tribulations, challenges, struggles where we think we're all alone. And we're never, ever alone. So it's really come to a place where I know fundamentally, first and foremost, we are a spiritual being. So we're all wired directly to spirit, right? And so today, it's just a matter of like my process is when I'm not working, I'm not thinking about it. You know what I mean? I'm not like, it's not at the forefront of my mind unless something energetically really pings me to the point where it catches my attention,
Yes.
And then it's just really about shifting, like really like shifting your awareness. Just, okay,
Yeah.
In fact, you probably can't hear it. My REM pod is going off. Hold on. I'm going to turn it off.
Oh my gosh. His what is turning? REM pod? I don't know what that is. What is that?
It's
Oh my gosh. Oh, does that mean that there's a spirit in there? Oh, how fun is that?
and it
Oh
wouldn't
my God.
stop. It would not stop. So, okay,
Oh my
everybody,
God.
I know you're here.
Wait, what is that called again? I want to know what that's called.
It's called a REM pod.
A REM pod?
It monitors and it connects with electromagnetic energy. So, and that's what we are. That's what we are physically, electromagnetic energy. That's what spirit is, electromagnetic energy. So, when they come close to it, it starts to light up and makes a lot of noise.
I love that. Oh, I'm so going to get one of those.
And yeah, so I have that going when I do my shows, when I do my readings. I have little, well, I'll show you this since we're on this topic.
I told you guys, it's like we're getting together. It's like we're sitting having coffee. What's that?
So these are my little spirit balls.
Spirit ball.
And they too, when electromagnetic energy gets close to them, when spirit comes through, they start to flash like this, or they flash when obviously we touch them.
Yeah. Okay.
So I have these scattered around, and like one of my favorite things with these is when I'm doing readings and their loved ones are passing through a message. It seems to always happen when it's a personal message that's really meaningful, and these start going off behind me.
Yeah.
So
that is so cool.
So anyway, what was I saying?
I don't know, but I want to ask more about that. So are you into the paranormal? Like,
I am into all things spirit. I am so fascinated by all of it. I am fascinated by the reality that spirit is and how we are wired directly, all of us. But it takes work and it takes practice to understand what it is and how we're connected and how we experience it, how we feel, our clairsentience, our claircognizance, our clairvoyance, it's all a little bit different within each of us. And it's when we really start to understand what that's like on our insides, then we really start to recognize how we're being pinged and how the reality in it. And so I'm very big about evidence and the scientific aspect, like show me proof. And these scientific tools are, my part of the proof.
Yeah.
But, obviously, as you know, being a reader, the proof is in the evidence that comes through as we're doing mediumship and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't get enough of all of it. I'm just
Yeah.
fascinated by all of it.
So do you go on like ghost hunts and stuff? Have you ever done stuff like
I
that?
haven't like on my own personal, yes, I have gone through but not like you see on TV, not like
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Ghost
Well,
Hunters and
yeah,
Ghost Adventures and Cindy
yeah.
Kaza doing her work. Yeah, no, I
Yeah, yeah,
haven't
yeah.
done that.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how much of what is on TV, like for me personally, like
Oh,
how much of that is hyper, because the one guy, he likes to yell at the spirits, and I have a really hard time with that because
so do I.
I treat all the spirits, they're always behind me. So that's why I always go back here.
Me
But I
too.
treat them with so much respect. And so I stopped watching those shows because I didn't like that.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, there's a level of respect and
Yeah.
honor that I
Yeah.
feel needs to be, laid out
Yeah.
because they're people just like we are. They're just, in a different field.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, a lot of it I don't agree with. A
Yeah.
lot of it I think is you know, exacerbated or exaggerated.
Yeah.
I think that, I don't personally experience demons and
Yeah.
darkness in the way that they
Because
do
you
on
stay
all
high
those shows.
vibrational.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just not where I vibe.
Yeah.
Um,
That's so funny. That's probably why we're, like, so together because people talk about how that they've encountered demons and the this and that, and I just don't. I mean, but I stay, and purposefully so, I stay as high vibrational as I possibly can because
totally.
because like I can't, well, for me, I had one experience when I was first starting out. I decided I was gonna there was this thing, this is many years ago, right? But there was this thing on this murder or something that happened, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna tap in and try to like solve the murder or whatever." And so I started meditating, and all of a sudden I felt the I felt that the this entity coming towards me, but then this is all happened in like a split second, but this entity came towards me, and then I felt Archangel Mike, and I know it was Archangel Michael. He went, it was like, so here's this entity, it's coming at me or whatever, and I felt Archangel Michael just go whoosh. And in like literally a half a second. It
Oh
was
yeah,
like,
split second. Yep.
ever since that happened, I'm like, no, I'm just kind of, no, it's all
Mhm.
good. I don't need to
Yeah,
do that stuff, I
yeah.
mean, so I don't know. But oh, so Wiki says I do like kindred spirits. Yeah. They
I
try to
love
help
kindred
people.
spirits.
Yes, me too. Yes, yes.
Adam and
And
Amy. Yeah,
Chip Coffee, I love Chip Coffee so much. When
me
he did
too.
Psychic Kids, I mean, that
Yeah.
show really helped my daughter,
Oh wow.
because
Yeah, yeah.
she was like, I don't understand what the heck's going on. And, God forbid we should listen to mom. But, so I said, let's watch this show, kind of thing. And so it really helped her. But anyway, so you've been doing this quite a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
well, since 2006, that puts us at 18 years. So yeah.
18 years. Yeah.
Mhm,
Wow. That is so amazing.
mhm, mhm.
So are there like what would you tell somebody who wants to get into this spirit work but is a little bit shy or nervous about it? Like what would you tell them? Like where would you tell them to go? Like what should they do?
Well, I absolutely believe that good, strong teachers are very important. Are
Mhm.
very important, and 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 also, really learning about energy and energy work. Like the Reiki was the door for me. And that's
Yeah.
where I really started to understand the difference between my energy, the energy of a person next to me versus
Yeah.
the space, the energy of
Yeah.
a space in a house or a place,
Yeah.
versus the universal life force energy that comes through when we're doing Reiki or,
Right.
all that. So you really learn about energy. And that's where you start to really recognize shifts in that it's very subtle, and it's in those subtleties where, at first you're like, I'm making this up, I'm totally making this up. So, I came to this place within me where I'm like, you know what, I'm going to allow myself to make it up. And I
Yeah.
talk to my inner child, you know what, have a ball, go for it,
I
just let
love
it happen.
that.
And
Yeah.
that's where I started to really recognize, through the evidence that was being presented, was that it was real. And it just feels like, what it's like when we're doing
Yeah.
readings, and how it starts. It feels like you're making it up, but you're
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
And
And that's when the uncanniness comes out. You know what I mean? It's like, whoa, how did you know that he had this big old belt buckle that was blah 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 or whatever, and then you go, oh, maybe I'm not crazy.
totally. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that. Hello to Wiki and Tasha and Bonnie and Karen. I feel like I'm on Romper Room.
Oh, and
You
Gwen.
guys
Hi,
remember Romper Room?
Gwen. Vicky.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Gwen for a long, long time.
Oh, this is cool. This is awesome. So Geppy and Bex and Michael and oh my God, thank you guys. Kevin, the healing medium. I love it that you guys are all here.
Kevin.
Thanks for being here.
Michael Christopher's here too. Hi, Michael.
Who is that?
Michael
Michael.
Christopher. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Very nice. Yay. So glad you
Yeah.
guys are here.
There's
So,
Sue.
do
Hi,
you
Sue.
guys have any questions for us? Because now I'm sitting here looking at the chat now. Not that I get engrossed and then I forget about the comment, I always just let it go the way a spirit's gonna let it go.
Yeah, the comments and everything, that is it's a definite skill that you really start to
Yeah.
develop quickly when you're
Yeah.
doing these things,
Well, and I have to tell you, I thought we were going to be live on Instagram, but I gotta figure out how to do that because we're not live on Instagram. Oh well. So astrology happenings with Shauna Saya. Ooh. When my son was 10ish, he was very connected. He's 28 now. Is he still connected? That's interesting. Do you want to take that?
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes, that he absolutely is. He might not be conscious of it, because as kids, we all do, kids are wide open, and kids are, mostly not super afraid. Unless it's something that's scaring the heck out of them in the dark, obviously, I was afraid of the dark, but kids are wide open, and then we all go through this schooling in our culture, and it kind of dumbs this part of us down. And it's really, when we're adults, our guides, our guardians, our loved ones, we're being pinged and nudged all over the place to recognize, hey, we're here.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, if he were just to really remember that aspect, and even though he might not believe it, it wouldn't be much at all for him to start remembering, really remembering.
And you know what? When he's supposed to sort of reconnect or remember, he will.
Totally.
I mean, that to me is just kind of the way it works. I mean, I didn't know I knew I had stuff going on when I was young, but I didn't understand any of it. And then all of a sudden it came back to me later on in life, and it's like, but it's so interesting because now, and I don't know if you feel the same way, Jeffrey, but like so much of what I dealt with as a child it makes sense now. Like a lot of the stuff that happened to me that I never quite understood, it all makes sense. Or at least it feels like it does to me.
Yeah. I didn't expect it. I didn't experience really hardly anything consciously as a child. However, I was always a huge dreamer, very vivid, very lucid, very lucid, very real, very real. And now I know that, I was doing a lot of dreamscape work, that makes total sense. It's, I'm very, very visual. So it's, I can see now, definitely.
I love that. So did any of your family, like your grandmothers, grandfather, was anybody have these gifts that you know of?
I think that my grandmother did. It was never spoken about.
Yeah.
And I do believe that my mother does, but my mother is a devout Christian. So she won't speak about it. Yeah. But she is so sensitive. I can't help but believe that she's dialed in, and she's just been afraid of it.
Yeah.
Especially with
Have
what
your
people are
have
taught.
your grandparents ever come through? Are your grandparents still alive?
No.
Oh, they're not?
Mm-mm.
Okay. 'Cause both of my grandmothers, once I really opened up and started to understand what was going on, both of my grandmothers, they almost always come through together, right? Both grandmothers, and they looked like one was short, one was tall, one had, you know what I mean, one had red hair, one had, well, gray. You know what I mean? So it's like one of those things. And so like people would say, "Oh, I have this lady here. She's short and has red hair, but then but I'm also seeing her with gray hair and tall." And I was like, "Well, yeah, that's good." But the reason why I'm saying that is because both of them have said to me in different mediums, right? That they had these gifts, but they had these gifts, but they were never allowed to talk about it, because at least my one grandmother, she was very Catholic, you know, so they just didn't talk about these things, they just didn't do it, you know. So it's kind of interesting. So that's why I was asking about your family, you
Yeah.
know, that's on the other side,
Yeah,
because
it was never spoken about.
really, wow. So do
Yeah.
you not talk to your family about this at all?
I'm the black sheep. I mean,
Yeah.
I talk openly. I talk openly about it. Uh, I don't come at them with it. If they ask questions, I totally go, you know, I'll say
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But yes, I will talk openly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's great. That's
Mhm.
awesome. Yeah. My family not so much into it. I can't really
Mhm.
talk too much spirit stuff with
I know
them, but
so many of us that
yeah.
are like that. Yeah.
Well, because you know what? When fear takes over, sometimes, I mean, I hate to say it that way, but you know, when fear has this crazy thing, this hold over us, you know? And
Mhm.
it's kind of sad,
And
you
religion, the
know?
dogma does.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, how about if we give some card readings? You want to do some card readings?
Sure.
I've got what card? Do you do tarot, by the way? I wanted to ask you
I
that.
have some tarot. Yeah, I have
Yeah.
tarot.
But do you do tarot? Because that's like a whole art, dude. Like, I can't do tarot.
Yeah, sometimes I do. I mean, sometimes I
Really?
will. I have everything at within reach, you know.
Yeah.
And I just kind of intuitively know where I need to get the answers from.
Yeah. That's amazing. That is so amazing. Oh my gosh. Tell us, like, well, first of all, tell us what your website is. Like, what is your website?
My website
And,
is
like, how do
Jeffrey
people
Peck.
reach you? I guess that's the way I should say.
Yeah, jeffreypeck.com.
Oh, that's easy.
Jeffreypeck.com. I have a podcast called Something Super Spiritual, which you've been on. On all the
Somewhat.
podcast platforms. The podcast video format is also aired on my YouTube, which is Jeffrey Peck Medium. But yeah, jeffreypeck.com is where, you know, all the magic happens.
I love that. Oh my gosh. Jeffrey Peck. And you know what? It's so much easier when it's your website, you know?
Yeah, totally.
It's so easy.
When it's
So,
your name, it's you know, can't forget that.
yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna get my little notepad out and my pen. Does anybody want a card reading, or like an area of your life that you'd like some clarity on, or something? I will write names down. That's what I usually do. Because I do lives here. Oh, did my Aunt Melly help bring my pup Nico to me? Oh, that's so cute. Oh, okay. So wait here. Let me do this. Veronica, Bex, Linda
Vicky,
wants a
yes.
card. Oh, and that's Wiki.
Vicky, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, for the dog.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And
Sweet little Nico.
Michael career. Yes. Okay. And then Rob, love life. I love talking to people about their love life. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. Do you want to pull a card for? I got Veronica first. So, do you want to pull a card for Veronica?
Yeah.
We can do them together.
Yeah. Veronica.
Linda.
Oh, speaking of.
What is that?
Romance.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I gotta flip my
Flip
thing.
your
I'll do
screen
that next
around.
time. Yeah, romance. Romance is a hot topic, and I think that's really interesting, given that you were just talking about people's love lives. So Veronica,
Okay.
here's what I want to talk about, Veronica. I want so when spirit is connecting me with your field, specifically with regard to the relationship in your world right now, I want to talk about the visual that I get that's symbolic of where things are for you. So I always see what they show me, a rose bush, okay? And how I see that rose bush in its cycle, in its development, in its growth, in its maturity, tells me metaphorically, symbolically, kind of where you are and how things are. So the visual that I get of this rose bush with you is it feels to me like it's sparse. The energy, the leaves, they're not completely, it's not, it's the bush is not dead. However, it's like it's malnourished. It's like it's not getting enough water. There's also what I see around the base of the rose bush. There's a berm. Do you know what a berm is, Lauri?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a berm around this rose bush. It's a little bump of dirt that when you pour water in, that berm holds the water in, so the water will nourish the plant. Same thing with fertilizer. You know, the fertilizers can't get out. The berm holds it in.
Yeah.
Simultaneously, a berm will also keep water out. So I want to encourage you to nourish that aspect of your life. Nourish it with how you would fertilize a relationship, how you would you'd want to, you want to water it, you want to feed it, and you want to care for it. So it feels to me like that this department of your life is there, and it's not completely foregone, but nourish it. It needs to be nourished. I hope that makes sense, Veronica.
And I gotta tell you, are you finished? Because
Yeah.
wait till you hear this. Wait till you see what the card I pulled. Oh my gosh, Veronica, this is so cool. So on the heels of what Jeffrey's talking about, look what it says. It's the rainbow waterfall, and it says miracles. And immediately what I'm getting about that is that you need to keep believing in what possible. Actually, this is what I'm supposed to say. You need to keep believing in possibility, because possibility turns into reality. Wow, that was like totally channeled. I don't even know where I got that, but that's and it's exactly on the heels of what Jeffrey was saying. You know, you can keep in the water so that it nourishes it, and just you need to keep believing, because eventually the rose bush will blossom, will bloom. Oh, I love that. Right? Oh, and Samantha says the red butterfly is self-love. Oh, that's so cool. I love that. Thank you. Thank you, Samantha. That is so cool. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so who is next? I have Bex. Bex, are you still here? What's the area that you would like? Oh my gosh, I just like my knees just cracked if anybody heard that. Oh my god, it totally makes sense. Veronica says it totally makes sense. Bex, are you still here? Oh no. Oh no. Oh, yay,
There's
Bex is
Bex.
still here. Okay, is there like, do you just want a card or an area of your life you'd like some clarity on? We are here for you. I'm so weird. It's been one of those days, I have to tell you. It's been one of those really weird days. Oh my God. You know, I had to sage a lot just before we went live, you guys, because weirdness everywhere. Just a general message for Bex. And
Excuse me.
I have like 3 cards up here too. Go ahead.
Okay. Bex, this is all a big message for you right now about the divine guidance. You are being hit with divine guidance, and it feels to me like there's been a lot of questioning, like whether you are, you might be asking questions, you might be praying, you might be looking for guidance, but feeling like you're not getting any answers, or feeling like, it's like, maybe not the answers you're looking for. And you know what? Sometimes crickets, when you hear crickets, nothing but crickets, that's an answer, So it's a lot of times where we're just being reminded that divine guidance is always, always at our fingertips. We're being guided all the time with our guides, our guardians, our loved ones, our team on the other side. They're always pinging us. They're pinging us in every direction. And when the universe is making it very clear that whatever it is that you're working on right now, it just doesn't seem to be going the way you need it to be going, the way you want it to be going. When you know this deep inside, but we're too afraid. We don't want to make those changes. This is what we made up our mind, and we're going to do it, damn it. But guess what? The universe, your own soul, has other plans. So when we are not paying attention, the universe gets louder and it gets louder and it gets louder. And I tell you this because you are absolutely being guided. I want to encourage you to really look at what you have been struggling against, but fighting for.
Ooh.
And recognize that that's where your messages are really there. It's part of that. It's asking to surrender and let go. And if what you're fighting for is not meant to be for you in this moment, it's time to say, okay, you know what? Show me which direction.
Wow.
Does that make sense, Bex? I sure hope it does.
That's amazing. I love that reading. And you know what's interesting? Because you said which direction, you will know like which direction. And look at the card I pulled, the activation card and wind. And again, on the back, you can't make this stuff up. How much I love spirit work. I mean, seriously, the message I'm getting about this card is that it's all in the wind. Allow yourself to just go where you feel led to go, Allow it to just flow easily and effortlessly, and then it will all work out the way it's supposed to for your highest and greatest good. Because that's like the key. It's to asking for it for the highest and greatest good of everybody involved. Love that. Oh my gosh. That is so amazing. So amazing. So before we do any more readings though, thank you, Bex.
Thank you, Bex. I'm hugging you from here.
Oh, I'm such an earth type. I'll try to embrace the wind. Bex is really cool. So you studied with, I noticed it when I was reading through your bio, you studied with Tony Stockwell. Did you do,
Oh, yeah.
I love Tony Stockwell. He's one of my favorite teachers that I've ever had.
He is so cool.
Yeah. Oh
he is so real and down to earth and easy. He like where a lot of teachers might have really strict guidelines.
Yeah.
What they believe is, right versus wrong, or yes versus no, guidelines, parameters, let's call it. Tony is so, he's like, hey, what you're feeling, go with it. When I was at Arthur Finley and us working with him, we went out to that. Have you been to Arthur Finley, Lauri? I don't remember.
Haven't been, but it's like everybody I know has been there. I'm the only one.
Out back in this massive, huge, beautiful backyard, there is this gigantic tulip tree. And one day he took the particular group out there at that time to connect with the fairies around this tree and connect with the
Oh,
energy of that tulip tree and the grounds and the oh my gods and the wows from so many people experiencing this truly magical,
yeah.
surreal, but yet very real, but very hard to describe moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, all with Tony, and in a place where you're learning about mediumship and
Yeah.
connecting with loved ones, and but yet there's that magic there too. I love it.
Yeah. So, okay, this might be a really strange question, and I'm sorry if it ends up putting you on the spot, but now that your guard's up, sorry, I shouldn't have prefaced it.
No, no, go ahead.
But, well, you call yourself an evidential psychic medium. So
Yeah.
I call myself a spiritual medium. So, like, I'm wondering how
Oh,
you came
oh,
to
Lori.
how did you come to why
Ah,
did I
you
not
know what?
ask?
I couldn't even tell you. I went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I did not want to use the word psychic because I
Right.
think psychic can be a loaded word,
I
and
yes.
it comes
People
with
don't like that
so
word.
much baggage and
Yes.
old school woo woo.
Yeah.
Um, you know what? I still don't even know. It's like I just decided one day that I was going to make a decision. I just stick with it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I was a spiritual medium for a while too.
Mhm.
Um, then I, evidential medium, and then I
Yeah.
decided to put psychic in there because it is our psychic faculties that we're working with.
Right.
So then I just decided to embrace and be like, hey, you know what? We're all psychic, whether
Yeah.
we choose to realize it or not. It's just
Yeah.
part of who we are, and this is where I am today. You know what? And I might change my mind. I have free will to change my mind anytime, but that's where I am
Exactly.
today.
Well, it's funny 'cause, Michael Christopher just said, "They're just labels."
Yeah, yeah,
We're interdimensional absolutely, translators. I love that. I love that. Oh my gosh, how
yeah.
much I love that. Interdimensional translators. I love that, Um, it's so interesting because I don't like yeah, things change for me from here to there to here to there, and so sometimes I'll feel like I'm more of a spiritual medium, and I that's like my main like I always feel like I'm a spiritual medium, but then sometimes it's like, well, maybe I should call myself just an intuitive or
Oh,
whatever, and
I
it's
did
like,
that
well,
too for a while. Yeah.
yeah, so very interesting. But you enjoy like what do you love most about being a medium? Like, do you love bringing through the people?
Ooh.
Do you love bringing through like the goodies, the good stuff?
You know,
Hi, Alicia.
the most meaningful thing that just touches me to the very core is the healing that happens in mediumship sessions.
Mm,
That a lot of people see us, because of maybe unfinished business, we'll call it.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
things went left unsaid, or maybe
Mhm.
so and so never received an apology, or maybe
Mhm.
they just want to make sure that they're still around and they're okay. So obviously, you and I know the answer to that, delivering this showing this proof of the continuity of life through the evidence that we bring. But the most meaningful ones that really, like, I get off these sessions and I will cry for like 10 minutes because it's so deep and healing.
Yeah.
But it's those people that really experience some severe trauma in life, whether it be abuse on any level.
Yeah.
And here comes this person. And also, Lori, just to be cleir, before every session, I let my people know if there's anybody that if you ever experienced trauma with in life that you don't want to talk to, it's so okay. You just let me know.
Right.
You know,
Yes.
I
Yes.
learned that the hard way. In
Oh,
when I was still fresh, and I suddenly had this
oh my
mother
God.
coming through, and my sitter, like, she turned 8 shades of white, and I could sense it in her, and I was like, hey, if you don't want to talk to her, that's fine. She thought about it and she said, no, I'll hear from her. But it was then where I realized I really need to let these people know it's totally okay.
Yeah.
But when these people come through to acknowledge the pain that they've left behind and truly apologize really, it comes from a place of such deep purity
Yeah.
at where they are at this point.
Yeah.
And to be able to verbalize and acknowledge whatever the sitter went through in life, for them to hear that for the first time
Yeah.
and process that, I think maybe 50-50. They'll say, you know what, I'm not ready to forgive. But the fact that I could sit here and hear all of that, knowing my experience and that they just spoke to it like to
Yeah.
a T.
Yeah.
I'll process this, and this is so healing. And then you've got the people who are in tears as this is happening, and they're
Yeah.
saying, I do forgive them. I'm so tired of carrying this burden around. And
Yeah.
to feel that lighten
Yeah.
in the sitter, lighten in the spirit world. And here I am just in the middle and feeling it on both ends. Oh my God. I mean, I literally get off these things and cry for 10 minutes because it's so
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. Sometimes they just affect you like,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Because we are so lucky to understand that, the people on the other side are healing as well. So we've got two people. We've got the physical person sitting in front of us, or on screen or whatever, and then we've got the spirit that and they come together, and even if there's a dialogue, that can be the start of healing for the spirit.
That's
Because
it.
that happened, that's very real. That happens to
Mhm.
me all the time. These people need to, I mean, the spirits on the other side need to heal too. And they progress on the other side. Oh my gosh, I mean, it's important for us to
Uh-oh.
acknowledge all of that. I think that's incredible. Um, that reminds me, did you ever study with Mavis Patella?
Yeah, I did. I did, maybe, let me think, maybe 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago.
Really? Yeah.
20, yeah.
I took several classes with her, but I never did, like, she was like my bucket list. Like, I wanted to do like a mediumship practicum or whatever, and I never got to. And then she passed away, and it was like crap. So never
Yeah.
put off till tomorrow, you guys.
True.
It's
Her
amazing.
book, Droplets of God, is absolutely fantastic. So if anybody likes to read these books about these incredible mediums and their journeys, and
Yeah.
Mavis worked very closely with Gordon Higginson, and he's one of the, I mean, these people are the shoulders that we stand on.
Yeah.
They paved the road for us.
Yeah.
And anyway, her book, Droplets of God, amazing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. That is so cool. So how about we do another reading?
Okay.
Wiki, you asked for something. Since you're so Wiki is cool. I don't know if
I love her.
it's her. Okay, I didn't know whether to do her or him, because you just can. Okay, so Linda, we'll try to get to you too. So Wiki, did you want a card, or like what area of your life would you like? We're only doing cards tonight. Yeah. It's been a challenging day. My Pittsburgh Steelers lost, you guys. That's a big deal. Oh, Barbara loves Mavis Patella. Oh, maybe Wiki's not here anymore. We may have lost Wiki. Wiki. That's so cool. Like, I love that name. I'm
Samantha.
super
Well,
bummed,
thank
you
you,
guys.
Samantha. Yeah. Thank you. I'm not
Oh,
tan, but I'll take it.
I didn't see what Samantha said.
Samantha said I was looking so tan and relaxed. I do feel relaxed. I think
Did you
I'm
have a
just
good
hot.
Did you have you were hot?
I'm just
You're hot.
hot.
Oh, because spirit's around,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So Wiki would like a card on career. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to?
If you had it at the top of your head, go.
Well, you know what? I immediately picked up my Psy cards. These cards are the first card. They're the size of a real deck, which is amazing because normally they're like this size, right?
Yeah.
But and these cards are like incredible. Like they're always spot on. So Wiki, career, I'm supposed to pull two cards for you. Oh my goodness, this is amazing. Okay, sorry. I always preface it and I should never do that. Okay, the first card that I picked was a voyage. Okay. Now, I don't think you're necessarily going to be going on a trip. Okay, that's not what I'm getting from this, but I do feel like that you're considering I feel like that you're considering leaving one situation for something different, but it's not it's different than what you're doing now, but it's not completely out of the realm. Okay. So give us yeses and nos if you could. So it doesn't feel like that it's completely out of this, you know, out of the realm of what you've been doing, but it is a different type of situation. And it feels really positive, right? It feels, yeah, I feel really kind of positive about this switch. But I will say, I also got the wheel card, and the wheel card takes us to there's gonna be a, oh, you're looking towards retirement. So there you go. But there's gonna be a getting used to. Like you're going to have to take this time and learn about yourself. Okay. Learn about your strengths. Learn about, I mean, because you have the whole world in front of you, you know? And I feel like that there's a little bit of work involved, there's a little bit of work to figure stuff out. So that's what I'm getting for you. So go ahead, Jeffrey. What do you got?
Okay, so for you, Vicky, the first card is signs.
Ooh.
The second card is surrender and release. Okay, so here's the deal. I know you. I mean, we haven't met face to face and personally, but I know you well through, my show and our conversations on direct message. I know you are dialed in. You are totally dialed into spirit, and you have been receiving these signs. You've been getting these messages. There is this feeling about this surrender and release that I was wanting to talk about before that signs came up, because it feels like a shift, and it feels like a shift in how you go about your daily work or your daily practice. There's just a shift, a big shift. And it feels awesome to me. It feels totally awesome. But here's the thing. It's like I want to surrender to all of the what ifs and woulda, coulda, shouldas. Like, should I do this? Should I, woulda, will I, won't I? Just like take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Because it feels to me like it's just like I want, it's like the world is my oyster and I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me. And there's also, so I just got this visual of you outside. I know you're walking outside. I know there's an experience with a hawk. When the hawks come in with us as a spiritual messenger, they literally are the messenger of spirit. But it's one of those moments, as you know, that when it catches your eye and it really gives you a moment to pause and go, huh, that's your answer. That is spirit. And you've got something coming in right in those moments, right? So I just have this really deep feeling that a lot of your what is to come feels different. It feels a big shift. It feels like it's much more relaxed, and it feels like you're doing exactly what you want when you want to do it. And it's outside. I want to say I'm outside too. I'm outside a lot, often.
That's awesome.
What was her question?
I think that
I hope that answered your question.
Well, she was, oh my God, she just said, I see eagles on my walks.
Okay, awesome.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. So were you, Wiki, were you partially retired before? Or were you, it was career. What the question was about career.
Oh, okay, got it.
But that's okay, because that's leading right into what she's going to be moving into. So Wiki, were you semi-retired before? Were you working part-time or something? Because I feel like that this shift is moving, and it's going to be okay, but I feel like that there's some stuff you're going to work through. It's tough retiring. Like I don't know that I will ever retire. Of course, what we do is a little bit different than an actual.
Is that what she's doing, retiring? Is that what's happening, Vicky?
She's thinking of retiring.
Something?
Nope, she's full-time right now, but hybrid since COVID.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, oh, maybe that's the working from
I
home. Maybe
I
that's what
think
I'm seeing because I was trying to figure out why I was seeing that.
I
So
think retirement
awesome.
is close because what I was feeling, that carefree, doing what I want when I want, it feels very close to me.
Yeah. Yay. Good for you. That's awesome. Okay, so Linda, you're next. Sweet Linda. Okay, so we are doing card readings tonight. Um, she wrote a whole bunch of stuff in there. Trying to Linda. She says yes. Oh, 3 to 4 years. Wiki is gonna retire. 3 to 4 years. Okay, so basically Linda is saying, I'm trying to see like of an actual she wants her loved ones to come through. Oh, you're welcome. Wiki says thank you. I don't know if you can see some of or any of what's going on the chat. So Linda, we're going to give you a general reading. Okay, we're going to give you general card reading. Okay, just to see what comes forward, and career, help, or money issues with family is what she says. So, do you want to go first this time? Hi, Alicia. I love that's her name on there.
Okay,
Hey, it's Alicia. Love that.
did you said Linda, right? We're talking to Linda.
Yes.
Okay, Linda. So Linda, I want to will you please be at the ready at your keyboard so you can answer or validate. There's this feeling oh, Linda's there. Yes. Okay. So there's this feeling, Linda, I can't help but feel this sense of anxiety. And I feel this sense of anxiety and worry and stress over like you know what it feels. Did you say money, Lauri? Did you say money?
Yes. Help with career help or
Okay.
money issues with family.
Okay, so yeah, it feels absolutely stressful with regard to money. And there's this feeling that I want to I've been there. Oh my gosh, I've been there. I've been there in the past many times. You know, I have been on the verge of like, I mean, really seriously couch surfing with friends, you know, after some serious crash and burns. But here's the feeling, Linda. I really feel this great sense of protection around you. And I know this is going to sound really woo-woo and it might sound really general, but I want to encourage you to really start to look. I want to encourage you to really start looking towards the positive, because it feels to me like there are some options, some opportunities that have been knocking at your door, knocking at your window that can bring in a little extra money here and there. There's this feeling too, like this protection that I want to talk about. The visual that I get is that you are like, you can't fall and hurt yourself. It's like you've got bubble wrap all around you. And so the visual or the symbol that I'm getting from this is that you will be okay. You will be okay. There's a sense of a buffer, that you might not know about, or a buffer that's coming in. It feels like it's, it feels like it's later this year. Like I keep seeing like later summer, fall, but I really would like to encourage you to take some deep breaths when feeling into that financial stress, and know that when the opportunities are being presented to you, little bit of money can come in here, little bit of money can come in there. It's helpful. Her sister money issues. My sister money issues. Oh, and you can't help. That is stressful. So you're basically going to be sitting there watching her struggle with her own incapacity to have a relationship with money in a healthy way.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
Boundaries.
Yeah.
There are a lot of boundaries that need to be set at this moment for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, can I show you the two cards I pulled? So, Linda, this is really crazy, right? So, I pulled one from the Earth Magic deck and it says spring equinox, but then it says rebirth. Okay. So, I was looking at that and I was like, okay, so rebirth, that's like fresh start. Okay. And I was like, I'm going to pull one from the Sacred Forest deck. Look at the card I got on this one. New beginnings.
Ah,
Right? So, like, what are the odds of that? Okay. So, the bottom line is what I'm getting from both of these cards clearly is that you have you have an opportunity, and I feel like that this message is from your husband. Full disclosure, I know Linda. Okay, I've given her readings before, but I feel like that your husband is telling you to just allow yourself to have a fresh start with this. Like, don't allow yourself to be pulled to the past. Okay. Find a new way of looking at this relationship because you cannot do it. You can't give your sister all this money, right? So what you should do is create a new relationship with her that does not revolve around money. Okay. A new beginning. That's the message I'm getting. Okay. And you can't make this stuff up that I pulled two cards from two different decks and got the same message. That's what I love about spirit. It's like you can try to like mess with it. There's no
yeah.
messing with spirit. So that's what I was getting.
So that feeling that I was feeling about the opportunities coming at me where a little bit of money can come here and a little bit of money can come here and a little bit of money can come here. That's coming at her sister.
Yeah.
She has those opportunities.
Yeah.
Feels like she's turning them down.
Yeah. And I think it's time for like Jeffrey was talking about boundaries. That's part of the new relationship. That's part of the new beginning. And you can do that. You're allowed. It's your life. You're allowed to think whatever you want about anything. Empowerment.
Empowerment. That's what it's about.
Linda Power. So, well, thank you so much, Linda, for sharing your life with us. I appreciate that. So we're heading up to the hour. So Jeffrey, do you have any like events or anything coming up that you need to tell us
Ooh.
about, or what's going on in Jeffrey Peck's world?
So what's going on in my world? Yeah, well, okay. So Wednesday, I am doing my first of the year live stream from my channel. And
Oh
I
yeah.
will have our local astrologer, Dina DeCastro, is joining me to talk about the energies of this year that are taking place within the transits collectively so that we know when the right times are to, when we have plans for the year. And there are better times within the year to start these things versus others, And so she's got a ton of information for us on Wednesday. That'll be Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific.
And where is that going to be? That's on your
That's
YouTube?
on my YouTube. Yeah, that's on
Okay.
YouTube at Jeffrey Peck Medium. And then I'll be next Wednesday with, oh my gosh, I should have written all this down. I've got Karen Gabler coming. Do you know Karen
Oh
Gabler?
my God, I do.
I adore her.
She's
Oh,
so amazing. Oh, that's great. That's
Yeah,
next week. Yeah.
that's next
Okay.
week. Yep. And then the following week is somebody else amazing coming on. Anyway, so I've got some really great shows lined up coming up on Thursdays. I'm sorry, Wednesdays, 4 p.m. Pacific.
Awesome.
And this is about to be announced. I can't announce all of it, but be ready for an announcement of a Sedona retreat at the end of this year.
Oh,
That
that's really
is
funny.
truly going to be transformational.
Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
That is so great.
Mhm.
I do
just the
this
beginning.
show in conjunction with evolveme.com, and we are putting together a Sedona retreat, but that's going to be in the middle of the year, not the end. So that's awesome. Sedona is a good place to be this year. I really feel,
Oh,
because I feel like that we are in the middle of this whole transcendence, and things are just happening, you guys. I have been manifesting like I'm a crazy woman. Like I will like these last weekend, I would think of something and it would just manifest. I mean,
mhm,
it's that the energy is that bizarre.
mhm.
Except I couldn't manifest the Steelers winning the game today. That sucks. You can't manifest for other people. You can only manifest for yourself. So there you go. So, Jeffrey, thank you so much for being here. You're so wonderful, and
Thank you.
you're such a warm human being, and I just thank you for who you are. And this might sound like I'm sucking up, but I'm not. I mean, this is how I really see you. You are such a warm soul. And it's like talking to you is like, first of all, talking to my own brother. You know what I mean? And it's like talking to you just is like a warm blanket being around me. And
Thank
I
you.
just I just really appreciate it about you. So thank
Well,
you for coming.
likewise, darling,
Thank
likewise.
you. Thank
We'll have to
you.
do this a lot more. I'll have to
Yeah.
get you on my show
Yes.
a few Wednesdays from now. I know we
I'm
talked about
in.
that. Hmm.
Let's do it.
Hmm. Thank you.
So,
I
but
adore you to
anyway,
smithereens.
thank you. You're so great. Thank you so much, Jeffrey. This was so much fun. This hour went really fast. So, so everybody have a beautiful, beautiful week, and I will see you next Monday at 7 o'clock. And I can't remember who my guest is. That's terrible. Who is my guest next week? My guest next week is it's Theon. Theon Paulino Filippelli. She is the founder of evolveme.com. So I will be here next week with her, and we'll be doing who knows what we'll be doing, because
Awesome.
she reminds me of you in that we get to talking, and the conversation will go this way and then this way. And this way.
I
I
love
love
it.
that. That's how I am. So all right, everybody, have a beautiful evening. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Have a good
Bye,
night.
everybody.